I'll meet you up there. And G also, you guys and Mike, I would love to come up to BC and do some
Yeah,
overlanding. So
be awesome to have you up here.
yeah, I'd love to do that. So that would be a nice thing for me to do this coming year. But yeah, those are some of the things I have planned.
Uh, sorry, something weird just happened. Oh, there we go. I got my YouTube live stream working, and then I was hearing an echo, and then I hit pause, and then it stopped, and I thought I lost all my audio, but in reality, you just stopped talking. So sorry, make that awkward. Awesome. All right, now we're cooking with fire. Sweet. Caleb, Baker Overland. Do you tell us where you're from, what's your channel about, and what do you drive?
Yeah, so I'm from Fayetteville, Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas. Channel, man, I don't know. I like historical stuff. I like kind of more personal stories, but at the end of the day, it's like every one of you guys just getting out there, enjoying the outdoors, encouraging people to enjoy whatever sort of public land they have access to. Drive a Toyota Tacoma. So all my Toyota guys in the house, all you Bronco and Jeep guys, y'all can just exit the chat right now because
We out.
we all know Toyota spirit. And Hummer.
And Hummer.
Also, I'm really stoked that Ian is the only guy that's actually remote right now because I was
Hey,
like,
Will's coming
oh no, Will's probably going to come in from the. I was going to say, the reason I set up outside partly was because of the cigar, and partly because I was like, dude, all these guys are going to be out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like sitting on my back porch. So I'm really stoked that so far it's just Ian.
Although technically, Daniel looks like he's up in freaking the middle of nowhere in a pole barn that he built.
That's true. That's true.
That's kind of the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and no thanks to the Starlink. If I didn't have my Starlink there, this probably wouldn't happen.
I wish I was out somewhere.
By the way, Caleb, if I was going to describe your channel, I would say like a guy who just tells really good stories.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with outdoors, overland. It's just a guy with really good storytelling.
Man, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
It's funny that you say that. Like my whole thing is like my parents and my grandparents are all big time storytellers. That's kind of a Southern thing that I grew up in. So when I started this, I was like, yeah, I just want to tell cool stories. I didn't even really know what overlanding was. So I'm glad that resonates with you, man.
Oh, it does. It does.
All right. Oh, everyone just shifted their positions here. That screwed me up. All right. G from BC, Gary. Over to you, man.
Will.
Oh.
Hey, Will, what time is the 6 o'clock live stream?
Yeah, that's a 6:20, right?
Yeah.
I added the Idaho 20 to that. Yeah.
Plus another hour because there's 7 o'clock right now over there.
Oh, was it?
It's 6 p Pacific Standard.
I'm a little late.
Oh, you're fine. We were just about to hear from Gary, a G from BC. We're just basically Will talking about where we're from, what our channel's about, and what we drive.
Whoa, Will, calm down. Okay. All right. From British Columbia. Basically, my channel is just sharing adventures around here in BC, mostly. Kind of just showing, like they call it beautiful British Columbia, so just showing the beauty of the nature around here. And I mean, there's tons of YouTube channels as well over here. You know, Story Till Now, KC250, the rest of the gang here. But yeah, just kind of giving it on my own perspective, and then also kind of also showing a bit of history as well too, eventually, because there's tons of history over here in British Columbia that you can probably just drive through with like a regular vehicle, not necessarily an overland vehicle. So kind of that. And I tend to sometimes destroy my Jeep. So if you guys like destruction of my Jeep, I do that once in a while. So
my favorite video was that last one you dropped, man. I'm sorry, I've watched it like 5 times now.
But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then yeah, just enjoying creating content.
Cool, man. All right, appreciate it. Daniel, dude, nice of you to join us here. 395 Junkie. You're currently in Idaho, right? You don't actually live there though full time.
No, we're at our property up here where we got some acreage where we just You know, one day we might just be able to call it home. Right now, it's just too soon. But thanks for the invite, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, we don't have a whole lot going on up here, which is the whole Idaho story. I'm sure Will could attest to that. They do shit a little different up here. Everything's a little slower, and you know, you don't bombard your schedule like you would otherwise. But again, thanks for the invite. I look forward to camping with a lot of you guys. I've spoken with a ton of you guys, Kevin and Greg. Haven't had an opportunity yet, but my channel, I don't know what my channel's about, bro.
It's about jerky now. Is that the?
Yeah,
Is that the main thing?
we got the jerky going too. You know, we just like to get out. It's generally just my wife and I, and occasionally we'll have our daughters with us, and occasionally we'll have one or two other folks come along. But for the majority of the time, it's just the wife and I, and we do a ton of exploring along the 395. That's kind of you know, where growing up, that's always been where I'd always find peace, right? Which is why I think Idaho kind of really grabbed me. We started coming up to Idaho about 10 years ago, hunting and fishing in this area. And the outdoors just brings a sense of peace where, you know, being in the corporate world for 20 years or so, I needed an escape. And the 395 is that, Idaho is that. And, you know, I just turned the camera on and we record our adventures, and there's really never a script of what we can expect or what we're trying to convey. It's just, you know, it's cooking, it's camping, it's wheeling. You know, a huge part of my channel, which you could probably hear her screaming inside right now, is my wife. Cowboys game's on right now, and she doesn't want to the weather here in the garage. It's a little chilly, but you know, between her and I, we just like going and exploring different places, and I love the opportunity to connect with each one of you guys, because you guys all put out incredible content, and I learn from every one of you guys. Some of the shots that you come up with, and all of my stuff it's self-taught. You know, between the drone and the editing and the editing software, which is a whole nother beast and an animal. I don't know how long it takes you guys to edit a video, but it's generally about 6 hours for every 10 minutes of my video. So I'm probably just slow. I'm you know, not the quickest of the bunch, but it allows me. People say, "Well, why do you create content?" The honest answer is it allows me to relive the experience, and I try to convey that through the videos. And you know, where it goes from there, you know, people seem to enjoy it. But I'm honored to be with such a great group of folks that also put as much attention, if not more, into their content. And you know, I'm honored to be with you guys right now. So thank you very much, and cheers and toast to the new year, guys.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Cheers, Daniel.
Hey, since it's in the name, I gotta ask, what is your favorite spot on the 395?
You know, anywhere around Bishop. It's nothing sexy, bro. I mean, we've been to some really cool spots, like I'm sure a lot of you guys have. But on the way up here, and God, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but you guys will see it in the video. The only two major issues I've ever had with my Jeep appear to be self-inflicted. The first was a year ago when we were up here, and I went from the dual battery system, which it's no fault of Genesis, but or Odyssey. Maybe it's the batteries, I don't know. But that dual battery system never worked out well for me. So I ended up getting rid of that. I put a 90 amp hour lithium in my Jeep. And as I was reconnecting everything, the black wire, which maybe it's just a lack of experience, I had assumed was negative. And that worked the fan of my JK. So when I got to the bottom of one of the grades around here, it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. But once I started hitting flat land, the Jeep got up to 270 degrees and I didn't blow ahead.
Oh, yikes.
So that was the other issue. And then coming up here, I rotated my tires 2 weeks ago. And I swear to God, this is a true story. I torqued all 20 lug nuts to the proper torque settings of like 120. Well, I don't want to say I forgot one tire, but it appears I might have. I got to above June Lake and I barely had my rear driver tire hanging on for dear life. It wallowed out the lug holes in my wheel. And so we ended up turning around. I tightened them down off the side of the 395, drove back to Bishop. And the next day, someone was able to fix it, but it was so easy to find a campsite in Bishop. So it goes back to your original question, is because east side, west side, anywhere around Bishop, California, you've got views of the Owens Valley, and sunsets and sunrises that it's hard to compete with. So,
Yeah.
Dude, that's obviously I do a lot of almost all the flying we do is over Owens Valley, Panamint, Saline, and Death. And there are so many, like, you don't even realize, just by like looking at Gaia doesn't really give you the full perspective of just how many areas there are to go explore. Like from Bishop, I didn't even know you could go like east up into the hills, I guess is it the
yeah.
White Mountains? Yeah. And
White
like
Mountains, you got
incredible,
Missouri
like
up there.
there's this canyon called the Narrows, and it's like this tight canyon that goes all the way into Saline. Just like stuff that, again, like you just looking at Gaia, you really don't have an appreciation for. But yeah, 395, man,
Yeah.
is something else.
Every time we think we found the last trail or the last campsite, there's always something that comes up. And by the way, I saw one of your buddies running Sidewinder on the way up here. I was like,
really?
"Ow, Kevin." He was by himself, which was unusual, right?
It depends. Flying low level in formation's pretty sketch, so we prefer to not do that, but you can.
Yeah.
I think we need a little context here. Kevin flies an F-18 like through Star Wars style canyons and like crevices out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Risks his life every day for our country.
I don't know about all that.
And
You're a hero in my book.
As you're talking about Sidewinder and solo and different things, I needed to just put that out there for you.
I appreciate it.
Is there like a map of all the trails? Because until I started hanging out with you, Kevin, I didn't realize there were specific paths that you guys are allowed to take. And I do like out camping in, like I'm in Anza right now. There's a path that goes over me, and I'm sitting here just chilling, and all of a sudden a jet just freaks by. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Well, so the cool thing about the Sidewinder, Ed Shin showing up.
All
The cool thing about the Sidewinder is that it is I'm going to say this very carefully. It is not charted. So it's one of the low level routes that actually doesn't have a vertical and a horizontal restriction. So like the world's a little bit of your oyster. Obviously, like there's ways you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. So take that for what it's worth. But especially in like Death Valley, Panamint, Saline, like you'll see Saline's a favorite. There's a hot springs over there, which is like a hippie camp. So like we'll go and rage by there all the time just to say hi. Long answer to your short
to
question.
buzz the hippies.
Yeah. I've been there, Will. It's clothing optional.
Yeah, they're really into feet pics. If you got any of those, Will.
By the way,
he dropped out.
In Anza, we have an F4 crash site, which was somebody.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I mean, that was back in the 60s, right? But I bet that there was nobody died. The guy got out of the flight and was fine. But I bet that happens every once in a while. That would be what would happen if that happened? What would happen to you, Will? Kevin, if you dropped a plane in Sequoia?
Nothing good.
Would be brutal.
We actually lost. Unfortunately, we lost a pilot a year ago in Panamint, right by what's the old town there towards the southern end of Panamint? Ballarat. Yeah, we lost a pilot right by Ballarat they don't exactly know why, but it happens. So yeah, it's Sequoia certainly wouldn't be great. But yeah, we try not to do that.
Ballarat's got
Kevin, you probably know more about it than I do, but there was a plane that went down right off of South Carolina a couple months ago.
That wasn't the F-35 that like ran away, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, I have no idea, but that sounds. Reading that article headline is like, we lost an F-35. We don't know where it is. It's like, is this real life? That's $120 million airplane.
Right.
What if you don't know where it is?
Somebody needs to put one of those little tile trackers on it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure the government will come up with something that's 10 times more expensive and 10 times less effective than tile. So, all right, Ian, dude, Doc Wrangler. First question is your Jeep functioning right now? You had a huge oil leak the other day.
Man, I drove it out here. It smelled, and I went into limp mode 3 times on the way out.
So
I don't.
You didn't turn around at any
do.
point. You thought you just keep going.
So if you guys know my buddy JL Overlander, Greg, I texted him earlier. He's coming right now from Arizona. He's like working his way back this way. And I said, there's a chance you may have to deviate. into Anza Borrego and pick me up. But I'm actually out here with a buddy of mine, and I decided just to go for it. I don't know what's going on with this Jeep. It's old. I've got 120,000 miles on this 2013 JKU, and everything that's ever gone wrong with it, I fixed myself, which turns out, if you're not a mechanic, may not be the smartest thing. I ended up fixing things multiple
I
times.
can relate.
I know my Jeep so well. I know it so well. Like when I'm in there, I'm just like, cleaning off the engine bay, just looking at all this stuff.
Hey,
but-
don't say this too loud. Ed might decide to sell his if he keeps hearing us talk about all the issues we have.
These are JK. I mean, this is an old Jeep, and I beat it up pretty bad. But yeah, no, we're out here, man. I hope we make it home. I think I will.
Well,
Ian,
if you need
every
help, you
trip
got at
that-
least 9 people or so here that you can probably shoot a message to. So
Don't call me.
Absolutely. We'll see who's coming.
Ian, I think it's just because I think your JKU just wants to be a grenadier now.
It does. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, where is that
I don't know if
Grenadier?
there's a story on the Grenadier, but I actually did yesterday tell them I wasn't going to buy the Grenadier.
Really?
Yeah. I hate to tell you guys this, but basically I drove it. It's great, and I love everybody who's going to get one, and if it gets you outside, fantastic. But it's going to come between me and my 392, and I just realized I couldn't do both. So it's it's time to get a new Jeep. If my Jeep was doing better right now, I would take the Grenadier for like a year and a half and then get another Jeep. But I think at this point, everybody who knows me and knows my Jeep has said it's time to get another Jeep. So we're gonna get
You
there.
won't. That's not a bad decision, dude. You will not. You will have a great time with that 392.
Oh,
You lock that one down.
I wish I had your life. What an
Just,
amazing
just don't
job.
take it in the snow that Will takes it to.
I cannot wait, man.
do you have a script to figure out how to convince your wife that that's a necessary purchase? Because I could probably use one of those.
That's
Make
You'll
your
be- oh,
YouTube
it's a-
channel into an LLC, and then it's a tax write-off.
Right.
and you tell them that it's amazing. These things are on sale for like 30 grand right now, which is basically the price of a Honda or something,
Well, I tell you what, one technique I figured out. So we talked about this a little earlier before we got started, but I've got this clicking noise in 4-wheel drive, and I think I figured out it's my drive shaft CV joint's gone bad. But I literally had my wife driving my Jeep around in our cul-de-sac as I like stuck my GoPros around trying to like figure out where the heck this noise was coming from. Oh, it was terrible, and I couldn't figure it out. I finally brought it into my buddy Jeremy, and he was able to sort it out. But long story short, the best way to get your wife to get on board with buying new parts is to have her actually sit there and try to drive the thing.
There you go.
Like today, we went out into the snow, and I wasn't going to use 4-wheel drive because I didn't want it to explode on me. So I was like, "Yeah, you're fishtailing a lot." And it's like, "Yeah, I guess we need a couple new Adams drive shafts." Which, by the way, babe, they'll be here next week. So
Yeah.
Those are good drive shafts, by the way. I felt like and there's no reason to say this, but I thought I could actually feel a difference when I
really,
upgraded my drive shafts.
dude,
I
I'm a little
did feel like
upset.
upgraded.
Not upset, I guess. I for this very reason, I installed the Terraflex Rizeppa. Sorry, all the non-Jeep guys are like, just shut up already. But Terraflex Rizeppa high angle joint, and I thought that like this was gonna like alleviate all my problems, and the things failed. And Jeremy, our Disciple Off-Road buddy, was like, dude, I've replaced so many of these things. He's like, you spend $200 on that plus a couple hours of labor, or you just buy an Adams drive shaft to be done with it. And that's what I wish I would have done. So here I am fixing my previous fix, I guess. But yeah.
And I did the same thing, Kevin. I did the same thing. I put the Terraflex Rizeppa like high clearance or whatever on my JK, and it went out. My drive shaft went out in the middle of the Idaho BDR, and I had
like
to take
it like detached from the
It sounded like there was like rocks in a dryer.
Dude, that's exactly how mine sounds. Like,
Vibrating
click, click, click,
underneath.
click, 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 and it's like it speeds up. It speeds up as you go faster, but I can only get it in 4-wheel drive because when there's no load on the front drive shaft, it wouldn't do it. But
exactly. So anyway, I pulled it, finished the BDR, no problem. But I put an Adams in, no problem since then. But I don't think those high clearance Terraflex Rizeppa joints are really made to do what we're asking them to do. So yeah, I think you just need a double cardan joint.
Be done with it.
Yep.
Well,
Just to
this is
get
a
off
great.
you real quick. So I'm San Diego driving the JK, camping with 2 little boys, and that's pretty much what we do. That's the That's the upside of the channel. We were just for Will and Ed who jumped on. We were going around saying like, "What the hell do you guys do with your
Well,
YouTube?"
I think Ian's selling himself short because if you go
That's
if
true.
you're on a trip with Ian, he's got like this wealth of knowledge you would not have expected.
And he's got the e-bike.
And he quotes like, "Oh yeah, this is done in this year, and this was built over here." I'm just like, Tish and I are amazed at all the information you get from him. So I don't know if he studies each trip before he goes on it, but it's appreciated.
Thanks, man. Hey,
Plus
you know what it
his,
is? Like teaching the kids, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, I was going to say his medical knowledge is unbelievable. So for overlanding and emergency, things to do with, dealing with a situation, Ian's great knowledge for that. So he's got
You
a
put
lot
a
of
video
videos
out on that, right? I remember a little while back about like comparing different medical kits and stuff.
I did.
Yep.
You know, it's the funniest thing. So medically, I that's what I like do for real life, right? And for whatever reason, I kind of avoided medical content for a really long time because I didn't know what the liability was. And so for that reason, I
Exposure.
haven't done it. And then I kind of, figured out that I could do reviews of things and not be exposing myself, medically, like somebody who's not a physician, for example. And so I kind of have started to dabble in it and I want to do more. I just kind of, I have to learn how to present the content in a way where I'm really not an expert. I'm just a doctor who likes to overland. And this is what I do for myself and my buddies.
Yeah.
Just put one of those disclaimers on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, exactly. And when I say my buddies, I mean all you guys. If any of you ever run into a problem where you're just like, "Oh man, I think I got pneumonia and I could use some antibiotics," call me up. Sorry, G, I don't think can't do anything in Canada, but anybody in the US, call me up. We'll have a conversation. We'll get you on antibiotics, whatever. Like, absolutely hit me up if
You
you
can
guys
get drugged at the coffee shop in Canada. Like their health.
Yes, exactly.
Ah,
Well, if it's in the U.S., just send it over to my family in Seattle, and I'll pick it up.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Will, Venture to Rome. Tell us about all of your vehicles and where are you from? What's your channel about?
Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, first, it's so awesome to see you guys. I love you guys. I love the channels in this group, and like as people, like I love hanging out with you guys. Like this is just a ton of fun to have everybody in the same place right now. So I have Venture Rome YouTube channel, overlanding content. I would say I'm pretty standard YouTube channel. I do gear reviews, I do build stuff, I do trip videos. I try to tell stories in the trip videos, maybe a little bit differently. I try to lean in a little bit to the story and the relationships and how we kind of are changed by going out and all that. So that's my channel. I have 3 rigs at the moment because I can't get rid of one of them. So I have a 2013 JK Sahara. That's like a Frankenstein Rubicon now. So I put lockers on it, done all this stuff. The only thing is, it doesn't have push button sway bar disconnects, and it doesn't have Dana 44s. It has 33s on it. Other than that, it's basically a Rubicon. And that's for sale. That was my first Jeep. That was my gateway drug into overlanding. Then I got a Jeep 392. So that's been a really fun build that I'm working on right now. I just finally got my lift on it. So I just put a 3.5 inch.
That was up in at Epic, right?
Yeah, up in BC. I saw Jeep. We went to dinner.
Oh, nice.
nice.
Got the steaks.
I just got that lift put on it. It's like a hybrid metal cloak Terraflex. We had some parts issues when we were up there, and so we wound up putting AMW springs on the front. So the AMW America's Most Wanted springs for V8 swaps, and then we put Terraflex HD springs in the back, which are made to carry more weight instead of the metal cloak springs. And then we put some drop brackets, and I put the Falcon shocks on it, which are just phenomenal shocks. And so that's super fun. That one's like, it's blinged out right now. I'm just having so much fun driving it. The other rig is a 2023 Gladiator Mojave, which has been also fun. So that one I'm taking a little bit different approach. We did a really quick overland kind of prep on it because we bought it right before we did the Nevada BDR in September. And so I had like 3 weeks to get it ready to go, including like sourcing the parts. And so that one we got ready to go really fast. And then since we have just slapped on 37-inch tires on it. So I'm running it with the stock Mojave suspension, which is like an 1.5 or 2-inch lift, plus the high clearance fenders, and 37-inch Nitto Recon grapplers on it right now. And I'm not going to keep it that way forever, but I'm really interested in how it drives, how it runs, how it off-roads without doing anything. I think there's people out there who have a Mojave or a Rubicon, really, because they're pretty similar in how
or a sport, Will, for that matter, just a sport.
Yeah.
There's
The
a lot of
sports
folks
have-
that aren't putting
Yeah.
a ton of, but these Jeeps, they're so capable just the way
Totally.
they are. So I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm doing this one slow because of that, because I think there's folks out there who don't want to buy a lift or who don't know how to buy a lift, but they want to have the look of 37-inch tires. They want to see what they're like. And I'll tell you that it does work. It definitely works. Like you can put 37s on that thing. And I just did a little zip tie with a plastic inner fender to eliminate some rubbing. And it's great for like, if you're driving down Forest Service roads. I don't really like, there's no problems. And that Mojave suspension is already pretty awesome. So I will lift that. I will do something with that long term. But that's what I'm playing with right now. So those are my Jeeps. That's my channel. And I just got to say, like, I just love this group. Like, it's not just like channels that I watch, channels that I have fun watching, but like people that are good people to hang out with. Like G and I have been friends for a while. Mike and I hung out this year at Expo. Greg bought me lunch at Expo. Mike was like Barry Bonds' bodyguard at Expo. He's like the best storyteller on YouTube. No, like hands down, no question there. Matt, we hung out at Expo East this year. Matt has a channel that like I watch his videos and I think, oh, I need to up my camera game. Ian's like one of the nicest guys. Ian and I talked like 2 years ago on the phone just because we just like liked each other. I haven't hung out with Daniel yet. And I hope to do that this coming year. And Ed is like, I think like if there was a certificate that was like, you're the nicest guy on YouTube, like genuinely nice guy, like Ed would have it on, like he would be certified. Like he's truly a nice person, makes awesome content, and is just like it's really fun to watch. So, and then Kevin's just okay. So everybody else,
I'm here. I exist.
really fun.
Yeah. You know, everyone's got to have that friend, right? Just that, yeah, he's here.
Hey, Will, just be careful. He might shoot you with his jet, bro.
I know.
It's like, but when you need a tank blown up, you know who to call.
Yeah, right.
All right.
There goes your Mojave.
And we're gonna start with 2 questions, dude. First off, where the heck have you been? And the second one is, what is it like going from 40s down to 37s?
Yeah, Ed.
Right now, your microphone's muted, so we're just gonna have this awkward silence until you unmute it. Oh, there it is.
Uh-oh, I'm not hearing it.
Oh, shoot.
Uh-oh.
You gotta pre-flight your gear, Ed. I say that as my live stream was a
not
total fail, but all right. Well, why he's figuring
Can
that
you
out?
guys hear me
Sorry,
now?
Daniel.
Oh, there you go.
All right, sorry. See, equipment management, I'm horrible at it. But yeah, no, I was gonna say, Will, I love you, man. It's because every time you see me, I'm just drunk. Maybe that's what it is.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, for the past 4.5. So I'm not a YouTuber currently, it sounds like, or it feels like, because I haven't made any content, but I'm still here. A lot of things on the pipeline that I've got planned. But yeah, for the past 5 months, I've been at the police academy. So just recently graduated last week, and I'm about to go on my FTO.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Ed.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Government
Cheers,
employee
cheers,
went to the
guys.
dark side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I finally got an opportunity to just kind of live this passion. And yeah, it's a lot of learning. It's like drinking from a fire hose, is what they say. And the next 3 months during my field training, we'll be doing a lot of that, just kind of going out into the real world. It's not textbook stuff anymore, and we'll see if I make it out of there alive, and hopefully be able to still make content in the process. And it sounds like I will be able to with the schedule that's going to be available. So I miss doing all that stuff, man. I kind of envy you guys because you're able to do that, get out, even camping. I haven't been able to do that in
Well,
the
dude,
last
now
5
you can
months.
go you see a guy with a rooftop tent, you just pull him over for whatever reason, just so you can sit there and chalk shop. Be like, oh no, I wasn't gonna write you a ticket, man. I just wanted to hang out.
You know what's funny is like there's so many more people doing that stuff. I've seen so many trucks and Jeeps and stuff with rooftop tents. Every time I see them, I just get that envy, you know, like, okay, maybe I should try to stop him and talk to him. but yeah, you know, what you guys are doing right now, it's great. Like, just, you know, I've been trying to schedule something with Kevin before he, you know, goes out. You get deployed, what, in a few weeks or a few days even?
A little longer, but yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah. So before you get deployed, I was hoping to catch up and also try to do stuff with everyone here. Actually, I know we've been talking back and forth separately with some people, and even some of the new faces here I haven't talked to before. I know that if, you know, Will, Kevin, any of those guys vouch for you guys, I know you're good people. So I would love to get out the group camping stuff, man. As much as it's maybe easier to film solo trips, the group trips are where it's at, you know, like, and just catching up and just talking shop and having like trail newbie Greg cook for you and stuff, like, can't beat it.
Bring wine. Greg brings the best wine.
Yeah,
brings the best
I've literally
wine.
had like $100 bottle of wine with him when it was like, what was it, 10 degrees outside? And we're like two
Seven.
dudes, seven
7 degrees.
yeah.
Yeah.
degrees outside. Well, yeah, I was thinking when we got super stuck last year, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, wine doesn't taste, I think, as it should at those temperatures, but it doesn't stop Greg, you know.
No, he'll still
That's
bring
why
it
you
out.
drink bourbon, right, Will?
All right. Nice, dude. Well,
Exactly.
thanks for coming in. Hey, real quick, sorry, he asked us like 20 minutes ago. Daniel wants to know what everyone's drinking here. Let's see. One sec. Oh, I'm so good at this. I can't even find where his comment was. Oh,
Wyoming.
you know what? It's because here we go. He says, any suggestions? He's got Eagle Rare, H. Taylor, and I can't see what's above that, but any suggestions on his next drink? So, what's everyone drinking?
So I'll go first because I owe Will this one. So I got to turn my blur off here.
Yes, sir.
Hang on.
You guys are so private.
There we go. So Will recommended the Jefferson's Ocean, and it's been fantastic. So I'm rocking this one.
Nice. All right.
I'm just hitting the Modelo. Nothing sexy up here in Idaho.
There you go. I just picked this up. It's just called Wyoming whiskey. It's a bourbon. I've never had this before. It's actually quite good.
Can it be called bourbon if it's from Wyoming?
I got it down at the Quickie Mart, which is up here in the Shaver Lake, on the way in to make it here because I didn't have any bourbon in the cabin, so I had to stock up.
All right.
That's good.
Let's see who else. Will, I saw you drinking something.
So I started with Eagle Rare, which is almost gone. So the guy who said he's drinking Eagle Rare, that's good. It's hard to find though. It's hard to get this. Rob brought me this from Kentucky. He brought me 2 bottles. Rob from If You're Overland. I paid him for 2, and then he just hit 100,000 subscribers when he was in Idaho a few weeks ago. And so I actually gave one of the bottles back to him because it's his favorite.
Oh, nice.
So then I switched over to Calumet. This is just Calumet 8. There's like Calumet 12 and Calumet 15, but it's like a really, really good, I don't know, like I would say like mid-level, mid-priced bourbon. I love this stuff. Also like love Blanton's if you can get it. Blanton's is kind of like Eagle Rare if you can ever get Blanton's. That's one of my most favorites. I've been really into like Japanese whiskeys like Hatazaki's, and it's kind of like a blend between Scotch and bourbon. It's really super interesting flavor, but really good. So if that guy's listening, maybe check out some Japanese. Like I just opened a bottle of Hatazaki yesterday, and it's so good.
Awesome. Cool. I will.
I got some
think he is
Japanese.
listening those way. Blanton's and Will's. Oh, nice. Yeah, he supports some Blanton's. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find Blanton's in months.
I got connections.
Do you?
When you get back, I'll welcome you back with that.
That sounds good.
Everybody says that about Blanton's. They're like, "Oh, you want some Blanton's?" Yeah.
I got a guy.
I got a guy.
Which means you go wait in the line at 6 a.m. like everyone else does. But you're gonna upcharge me for it.
No, I'll give it to you.
Sweet guys. Well, we don't need to make it as like formal as going person by person, but like big picture, someone can start whoever they want, but I figured it'd be kind of cool to like, obviously we're day before New Year's here, but like, I don't know, recap any like big, big life changes. Ed already obviously touched on some of his. Daniel with 395, you were moving to Idaho. Now you're kind of back. Obviously you're visiting, but yeah, if kind of no particular order here, like just talk about what 2023 was like and maybe what's coming next or different for 2024.
Yeah, for us, man, we're just bouncing back and forth. We spend most of our time in California with the girls. We've got 3 grown daughters, and as much as we would love to call this home where we're at right now, it's just if you're a parent, it pains us to not be by them. But when we're up here, it's so amazing. So, who knows? It's in God's hands, and where we lay our head at night, it's never in the same place anyways. Hopefully we're out on the trail somewhere, but for 2024, it's all about hitting up the expos. Last year was the first time I even went to an expo out in Colorado. So we're excited that this year we'll be hitting them up all, the rest of them, Flagstaff, Oregon. And as far as the rigs go, Belle's not going anywhere. You can see her behind us. My wife's got the JL 2-door, which is on a 3-inch lift, and we love that thing, although we don't take it out very often. But when I get back, hopefully I'll be putting my order in for a new Colorado, the ZR2 Bison, which will be something like Ian was saying, man. Every time I take Belle out, she's got no reason to have ever let me down. Only time she's let me down is, user error, something that I did. But every time, she's got 72,000 miles on her. So she's got a lot of life left in her. But it'll be nice to do some of the longer trips with a new rig. And I think this Bison, with how I plan on building it up, which isn't going to require a whole lot because they come, with the AEV conversion already with the lift and everything else, maybe throw some sort of camper on it. But other than that, that'll be kind of our, if we go out for a week or two at a time, that's the rig that I plan on kind of unfolding throughout the year 2024 and just doing some longer trips. And those shorter trips we'll still take Belle. But cool. That's all I got up my sleeve.
Hey, just a quick question, Kevin, before you go on. How much longer is this chat going to go on?
I mean, there's no
7
time
days.
limit to the end of the Zoom, so we can hang out as long as we'd like. And
okay, no, I'm just gonna post an Instagram story. See
Yeah.
if people want to join.
yeah, we can be on a little longer. Cool. Mike, both Mikes have been quiet, so is Caleb for a while. One of you guys talk, what was 2023 like, and what are you doing in 2024? I'll just pick one, I guess. Fly Fisher Mike.
Yes.
All right. So for 2024, I was going to officially retire in 2024 after 40 years in engineering and construction. They've kind of pulled me back into a part-time position. But that'll still allow me to do a lot more content than I was otherwise able to do. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot more longer trips, and my schedule will open up so I can visit Daniel and Ed and Will and G and Matt, all you guys. I really hope I can, in the coming year, really hit you guys up for doing some trips in the future. So
just to pull the room here, the only guys that are, Will, you're full-time, right? Full-time YouTuber now?
I'm on the way. Yeah. So the date has been set and I am only a few weeks out, but yeah.
Okay. And Caleb, what about you?
Not yet. No.
Okay. So basically all of us have some semblance of other competing priority, which obviously can be difficult to work around, but that's kind of the realities. Will's going to make it big here soon, and then he won't have to worry about that. But awesome, Mike. Let's see. Mike T, what about you?
Oh yeah, so I'll go on with so 23 has been a great year for me. I got to go to the expo, which I hung out with all you guys, which let me tell you, like me being just a small time guy and hanging out with you guys was awesome. And like being part of the group, I kind of went off on my own a little bit. And then like you guys were actively searching out to find me. I'm like, wow, like I just didn't want to feel like the guy that was just tagging along, but no, I was actually part of the group and it blew me away. Like, I just got to say that, like, you guys are amazing. It was so cool to hang out and I can't wait to hang out with you guys again. I'm gonna do the expo again. The expo was absolutely amazing. As far as trip wise, 23, I didn't get to where I wanted to go. A lot of it was fires. So we have fire season up here, and it's bad. And the bad thing about fire season is like, sure, you can go somewhere that's not on fire, but then if the fire threat's close to your house and you're 4 or 5 hours away, and you have to come back to your house, like that's the hard part about up here is you got to plan out your season. If it's a bad fire season, like this year wasn't bad, but there was some times where you just can't get out. Like I don't feel safe going out in the fire season like that. So that killed a huge part of my filming. So unfortunately, I didn't get as much as I wanted. So I'm actually behind. I have probably 4 or 5 videos right now that I have to edit, which I got in late in the year, which is good. But yeah, it was kind of a disappointment for me for 23 a bit. I'm going to get back on. Basically, 24 is going to be a lot better for me because I have a lot more ability to get out more. I'm going to try to get on as many of you guys as I can. Get down to the U.S. and do some awesome trips down there. Unfortunately for me, my truck is old. So my truck's a 2005, and I've had it off-road every weekend. I've had it for like 13 years, and it's got 200,000 miles on it, and the engine is expired. Like it's done. Unfortunately, the oil pump went bad, took out the cam bearings, so need a new motor. So right now, I'm in the process of doing a build. That's going to be some nice content for me. Got to have a little more horsepower, which is nice. Have the truck back on the road, and yeah, 24. Also trying to plan a trip to Alaska. That's going to be amazing. It might be Alaska, it might be northern BC. We'll see. I mean, that's all kind of the same general area there. But that's one of my dreams has always been to go to Alaska. So this year, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm definitely getting out and doing a lot more trips. I haven't really done the long trips, so this will be new experience for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. 24 is going to be awesome for me. I can't wait.
And dude, just to like clarify here, like you're not for the engine swap at least, like obviously some like DIY like you're a your profession is a a mechanic, right? Works on Hummer, so
yeah,
probably as qualified as someone can be to do it.
Yes, my daily job is I'm a certified master technician at a GMC Chevrolet dealership, and also I'm EV certified. I do work on the Hummer EVs and the bolts and all that. So that's my daily job. So I do have the skills.
For sure. Nice, man. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah,
I think it's cool, especially even seeing a Hummer at Expo. You're like, it's just not a traditional vehicle. That it's usually always a Jeep or some 4Runner variant or whatever. But yeah, it was cool to see something different and doing something different vehicle wise, because it's very easy to like just kind of fall into the trap of it's got to be a Jeep or a Toyota or you can't take it off road, which obviously is not the case at all.
I love being unique. I love being different. That's me.
Dude,
hence the unexpected.
You could put 37s on a stock 82, right?
I've had 37s on it for 13 years.
Without any lift. That's crazy.
No lift.
That's awesome. All
right, Caleb, what about you, buddy?
Yeah.
Man, I have been the last 2 days, pretty much the entire awake period of the last 2 days, I've been in a shop working on my truck. So I found out that my diff, I re-geared like 5 months ago. I found out my diff got a whole bunch of water in it and warped all my bearings. And I was hearing this crazy noise, and I was super nervous just because I'd heard the noise prior to re-gearing the first time. And so I came in and called my buddy that's a mechanic, and we found out that like all my bearings were shot, but my gears were okay. So the last 2 days, we've literally been in the shop just taking the whole truck apart. We replaced the axles, the wheel bearings, all the bearings in the rear diff. The gears were good. We got all that done, and the truck is like perfect now. And so I'm just like extremely excited. And the whole issue was because of a stupid mod that I didn't prioritize, which was just a diff breather extender. And if I had done that, like $50 mod, I would have saved, $1,500.
Oh,
Story of my life, man.
Yeah.
I just did that this last year, Caleb. I just did that.
Oh, that helps hearing that I'm not the only one. But like, I didn't prioritize it the first time round because with the stock gears, like Toyota buttons that stuff up so good, like you don't usually have issues, and I didn't. And when I re-geared, I got some water in, and there was multiple issues, so I re-geared, and then now I'm doing it again. But now it's all done, it's all buttoned up, and I've done some test runs with it. I'm on a 500-mile break-in, so I can't like do any hardcore wheeling until that's through. But I'm just thrilled that all that's behind me because it's been like super frustrating.
Yeah, dude, that's tough. It's funny. I re-geared to 456, and I think for 35s on a Jeep, like it's like pretty solid. Except I have a manual, so I end up having to ride the clutch sometimes when I need to really crawl. So I almost wish I went with like a 48 because I think watch more of Ed's content and see how I feel about 37s, but I really want to go to 37s at some point, and especially having these new axle shafts, I feel like I could probably do it. But obviously for re-gears, especially for a guy who doesn't know how to do it myself or anything, it's not a cheap thing either. But it's funny you say that. So I had a, not to go on a tangent here, but I had a diff breather that actually on the Jeep, it's just like a little like plunger type valve thing. And it like at some point melted, but it melted to the close position. So I found it right after I had bought it, and I honestly really didn't know anything about working on cars until I had to start fixing stuff on my Jeep because it's a Jeep and you just have to do that. But like I'm glad that I caught it when I did. I don't know if you get like a vacuum if that thing is totally clogged or what, but
it'd blow out your seals. Like your seals, it
Really?
would blow the oil out your seals. Yeah.
So yeah, didn't catch it in the pre-buy. Not that it would have really changed anything, but I think like caught it right after I bought it. But not ideal. So
Kevin, I did 488s on my JKU with 35s on it. And it's great. I love it because you load it up so much, like you're putting so much stuff on it. And then we're usually like wheeling in higher elevations. And so, that takes, it takes some of your power away. And so I have not regretted having 488s on 35.
What you got in your the V8, Will? You got the 413s or what?
Yeah. So on my JKU,
513s?
On my JKU, I've got the 488s. On the 392, it comes with 455s, 456. And I was just talking to the guys up at Epic Adventure Outfitters on whether or not I should re-gear to 488 or something. And they were like, there's no reason to do that. There's you've got so much
V8 power, you're good.
Yeah, that you'll actually have a better driving experience if you stay at 455 or 456. I can't remember which one.
Actually, when I got 40s on my Jeep, I re-geared to 513s, and now actually recently I switched down and I got 37s on mine, and 488s would have been just like that sweet spot, I think.
Yeah, how's 513 on the highway? Is that your daily driver? Or do you drive something? Do you drive a truck?
100 RPMs.
Well, that's a part of the reason why I went down to 37s, because it's my daily driver now. And I at a certain point in time, I'm probably going to re-gear down to 488, but it's at 513 and it's just screaming.
Yep. Yeah. Are you running beadlocks, Ed? I got 513s on my Jeep with the 37s, and I love it. I mean, when you hit grades, you're good, man. I mean, yeah, you might be running at 4,500 RPMs and just watch the temps. Everybody who's got a Jeep, what's a high temp that, okay, now you're starting to be a little concerned with? I get to like 235, 240. And I turned the heater on, but that's about 235 to 240 is where it really starts get nervous.
Yeah, so I had the beadlocks on the 40s, but on the 37s, I don't have beadlocks. Where I see myself is the beadlocks on the 40s, we've aired it down to like 2-3 psi, but for future snow runs and stuff, I'm probably just going to air down to like between 7 and 10 and not have to worry about the bead, just falling out.
It's all that wheeling with Nate, man. Nate airs down to, if he could go less than 0, I feel like he would.
Yeah, what he does is he just shoves a knife in each tire and just lets it air out that way.
Although I was just out with Nate like a week and a half ago. We were up in Canada snow wheeling, and I have the Method bead grip wheels on my Gladiator. And he has them on his Taco.
They're excellent.
I feel like they're way lighter than beadlocks.
Yep.
And you can kind of use them the same way. He was down at 3 psi in the front, 4 in the back, when we're out there trying to get off a mountain.
Yeah.
And I mean, zero problems.
Yeah, you cannot air down enough when Nate's around. He'll always say to keep airing
Really?
down, even if your
I'm
wheels
in
are
that
touching the
camp,
ground.
He's so
Lower
happy
the
too. He's
better.
he gets excited. He's like, gentlemen, I'm gonna air down.
I'm so jealous of all of you.
He's the best. He's the best. Dude.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
run 6 psi on my factory wheels all the time, and I've never had a tire come off in the snow.
Yeah. So when it
My
might
heavy
come
truck.
off. So when it might come off is when you have to be recovered in the snow and they recover you sideways. So when
Yeah,
they
that's
recover
true.
you front and back, it's
Yeah.
all good. You know, low PSI, driving around, you're still fine even without bead locks. But yeah, once that's what happened on the Ram is they tried to recover me sideways and I was at like 7 PSI and it still debeaded because it just came sideways and there's too much pressure and too much leverage going against that tire.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's why you
what
need to
happened.
always. That's why you need to always go with Nate because like he can fix whatever breaks. Like all he needs is like a lighter, duct tape, and like an old coffee cup, and he can basically.
Yeah.
Off-road
So
MacGyver.
Anything you can find on the trail, he could use.
That's what makes me
He
nervous
can't.
about going out with Mike, Greg, and myself. Is like neither of us are qualified to fix anything. So we got what we got.
no, he does give you a bit more confidence, but actually during that time when the tire debeaded off the Ram, it's actually kind of tricky to try to jack up the tire, especially with like 4 feet of snow under you. Because
Oh,
if you
yeah.
try to, because you need to have like a wide platform, you know, to have that surface area contact so you can lift it. We didn't have anything like that. I had the bottle jack. I love bottle jacks now, by the way. I'm all bottle jack because it's like
Yeah.
it's still heavy, but it doesn't take up a lot of real estate in your vehicle.
Yeah.
But you need like a flat platform. So what I ended up using was a cast iron skillet like pan.
To
And then
cook.
put the bottle jack on that, and it did lift it up a little bit, and we were able to change the tire out. But partial way through, and when I put it back in, and we're screwing the tire back in or the wheel back in, the cast iron skillet actually cracked, and it just broke in half.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. But the Ram is also pretty heavy, so
That's
surprised
kind
they're
of
not-
like what happened to me when I went. I tried rock climbing in a really wet like rock obstacle. That's why I broke my rear upper control arm. It's because I was getting pulled from the back on an angle, so all the weight went onto that one corner of the Jeep, and it just debeaded my wheel. But the crazy thing is once we got the wheel out and the tire out, it wasn't so debeaded that all I needed to do was actually just air it up, and then we're good to go.
I'm looking at G's video. His video.
I know.
Yeah, dude,
What
I
happened
was
to my
thinking the
face?
same thing, Greg. It's like frozen on him.
Your face
It's
is
frozen.
like
Hold on,
Is he having a seizure?
Yes.
I thought we were going to call
Call
Doc
the
Wrangler.
ambulance.
no, he was talking without moving his lips. I thought that was
Yeah.
amazing.
I was tripping out.
It's a Canadian trick.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think we lost
Is
him.
anyone here running the Method wheels?
Yeah.
The B grips,
The bead locks. They're or not bead locks. Sorry, bead grippers.
Beat group.
dude.
Oh, wow.
Nate made that video on him, and it kind of sold me on him. I have these like my rims. They're by Mickey Thompson, and they're terrible. They like scratch super easy. I think that's gonna be my next move.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna buy a set here soon too. They got HD wheels that I'm looking at, so I feel like they'd be nice.
Yeah, no, I've seen him go through all sorts of trails, and he's never debeaded that thing. It's ridiculously well made.
It's getting to the point where
And a
like
lot lighter.
tire
Those
shafts-
bead locks add a ton of weight, man. I'll tell you.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
true.
they don't want to work on the bead grips because they're so hard to debead. So like
Yeah, that's gonna
that
suck.
says to me that they're doing something right. You know that like tire shops are like, oh, we don't want to work on these because they're
It's
Anybody
gonna
here-
break the machine taking it apart. Basically, is what's gonna happen.
wow. Huh.
Anybody here have a discount code for Method?
Onyx, if you're an Onyx member, there is. It's like 30% off, I think.
yeah, Mike.
Really?
I actually have a route for you to get a discount. Just DM me after this, man. I
Ooh,
can-
Oh.
you might be getting a few DMs, Will, after this.
Approximately 10 of them.
yeah, let's do
Yes.
this. Dude, they're great. They're great wheels. So like, you asked like what like 2023. Like, I'll just tell you, my 2023 was for me like overlanding a step forward. Like I did more this year than I have ever done. We made up our own kind of BDR route this year in Oregon, which was really hard, super challenging. I was so naive about how that would go. And so we're still not quite done with it. I have to go back and redo. I think I've got 2 more sections to really redo before we release that route. And then we did the Nevada BDR in September. And the Nevada BDR to me was so surprising. It's so surprising. Like really challenging, really beautiful, really different. Like Nevada changes so much. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm such a fan of Idaho. I think that Idaho's the best, right? Because I'm from here, but like Nevada blew me away. So that was really exciting. I got to wheel up in Canada for the first time this winter. So, for me, 2023 has been really great. I just hit a milestone for my channel. I just hit 30,000 subscribers, which is
Nice.
thanks,
Congrats,
guys.
bud.
That's
You
awesome.
know, it's like a drop in the bucket, but like it's
Well,
I try
It's not a drop in the bucket, man.
Whoa.
I
Yeah.
remember when you
Greg,
had
I like your. Do it
1,000
again. Do it again,
subscribers.
Greg.
I would
Hang
love
on.
that.
Look at the fireworks. Oh my god.
It's as good as my face just stuck in one place.
That was awesome.
like like
No, Will,
you gotta celebrate
awesome.
every single milestone in this crazy thing that we do.
Yeah.
Which
There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
we choose
Caleb's
to
got
make
it.
we
Caleb's
choose to
got
make like adventure films on overlanding content, which is probably like one of the hardest, like least rewarding in terms of YouTube endeavors you can get into, because it takes so much effort to film it, to edit it, put it together. And then, it's just, it's a slow game because our market's smaller than other niches, but it's so rewarding. In 2024, my goal is to do more feature films. So like the Nevada BDR, I was going to release it episodic and then kind of do a accumulation video of all of the episodes together, but I'm just going to go straight right into like a 2-hour movie.
Nice.
And so I want to do in 2024, I want to do like 4 to 6 of those. Just I'm not messing around. I love making long form storytelling where you can really show the whole arc of how things change from beginning to end and really take time to develop like what it is that's happening in the moment versus a 20-minute episode, which I also love to do, where you're really trying to figure out how you can end the video as quickly as possible. You want to show detail, you want to show all the things, but like you're trying to get to the end because you're kind of catering to the standard YouTube attention span. But what I discovered this year is that there's another audience out there of people who are tuning into YouTube for long form entertainment, and so that's for me that's really inspiring, and that's something that I really want to try to learn more about and do more of in 2024. So I don't know what that means.
I encourage you to do that, man. I struggle with that every single video. I mean, by the time I'm done with my final cut, my final edit, I'm at 50 minutes. And I know I need to get the algorithm, right? Which I don't know anything about, but it tells you have to have short videos, right? But that's not what I want to do. Like, I like having 30, 40-minute videos. And I know it goes against the grain of what you're supposed to do. But you're right. There's an audience out there, your core subscribers. They'll love it, man. They'll love it. I was watching your video where you guys redid that trail where you guys did a year ago and you couldn't do it, and I couldn't get enough of it. So there is an audience for the longer videos, but yeah, it's a struggle between what I should do and what my heart tells me to do. So just follow your heart, man. You put out some really good
and Will in particular does a really it's very hard on those to make minute 38 as strong as minute 1, right? Or minute 2.
Right.
So like I think you do a really good job of that, is like keeping the story moving, but like keeping, like not having this big lull in storytelling, which is a big challenge that I definitely find with longer videos.
Yeah, and you make some pretty good content, Will, and I like the way you put together your videos. Have you ever thought about maybe even if you're going to do long form, doing that Amazon Prime, the Prime Video stuff, releasing it on there? I think that might be a good thing on there as well.
I have thought about that. And I learned it from watching you guys. I learned everything from watching you. Like it's all the stuff like I steal from every single person here like mercilessly. And I have stolen from Ed maybe the most. But yeah, so like that's why I love being friends. I feel like when we're friends, we can like it's like okay to steal each other's superpower a little bit. And,
Totally.
I better see you cook some bulgogi at your next trip then.
No, but
So
Will,
I think the secret to my next video is going to be ketchup chips.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
3 minutes. 3 minutes of my video was on ketchup chips.
No, but Will,
I-
don't downplay yourself, man. I've seen some edits that you do in your videos. I'm like, dude, I could never do that. I don't have the patience to do some of the stuff that you do. So, yeah, man, you're definitely doing good work.
Thanks, dude. Same. Thanks. So that's my 2024 is more long term, more hopefully more
Do
long.
you not to put you on the spot, but do you have aspirations of like submitting them to like film festival, whether Overland Expo or even outside of that?
He was already
Yeah.
in Overland Expo for
Yeah, I
the.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in like 3 Overland Expo film festivals. I do. I love that stuff. I love that stuff, you know? Like it's fun to have your stuff picked up. It's fun to be able to go like talk to the audience about something. You know, like when I was actually able to watch one of my videos being seen live at Overland Expo, it's a totally different experience to watch people react to something that you create live. And it was I was really affected by it, like really affected, you know. So absolutely, like I would love to do that stuff. I have no idea of my path on that yet. My first thing is like dedicate my time and craft and passion to trying to make the best stories possible. But as I get into it more, as I start learning more about that world, for sure, like I'd love to do that stuff.
I was there when you were looking for people's reaction. I was filming your face while you were watching the video.
Crying.
He was like a proud papa, man.
Now, was it an Overland Expo exclusive video, or was it just another video from your channel that they posted on there?
So like they did submissions. So like I submitted videos a few years ago. They do like an open submission, and it doesn't have to be exclusive to the festival. And so when they picked a video that I had done a few years ago, and then that started a relationship between like the curator and me. And so the next 2 years, we just had more of a direct conversation on like, you know, what are you working on this year that might be good for Expo? And then I pitched, hey, you should show my whole 2.5-hour Idaho BDR movie at the next Expo, and they stopped returning my emails after that.
Worth a shot.
Hey guys, I would recommend we all meet up as much as possible at the next Bend, Oregon event.
Oh, you guys are making me want to.
Yeah.
You guys are making me.
Matt's like, come on, dude. I gotta. Yeah.
So,
Central.
so I want to go to the Pacific Northwest one, but being, like where you guys camped, Kevin and such as a group, I'd love to just be out there. It seems like a better place to just be at. So
Yeah, camp with the small people.
Oh yeah. With
the peasants.
The peasant camp.
Yeah. But since now,
I know Will's term was Gen Pop.
Since now we know that Will has hookups, he can maybe get us a good spot over there.
Yeah,
dude, it was actually a ton of fun doing the
city.
bourbon, which I kind of stole the title, but the like bourbon meet and greet thing was actually just a blast, just to like meet random people, hang out, and
it was a lot of fun. I'm so stoked that Will came to East Coast Expo and did it there. That was a lot of fun.
We couldn't call it Bourbon Potluck though. Like we had to change the name because they had heard about it in Bend, and they were like, whoa, like we can't be serving hard liquor, at Expo. So we just called it a picnic or a potluck or something like that. And it was still
that table of bourbon was impressive.
Yeah, but it was still 100% a bourbon potluck. Like hardly anybody brought food. It was all bourbon.
Yeah.
It was all bourbon, no food.
Caleb and I are gonna go do something in Arkansas. We'll go to like more Expo.
I hope to go to more this year.
Do it.
I really want to go to more this year. Like that's one that I've been wanting to go to for 3 years. So if I can find a way to get there, if I can finagle my way in somehow, then I might see you guys there.
Daniel, you got to be at Bend, Oregon next year.
Yeah.
Oh
Daniel.
yeah, I plan on hitting all of them, man.
Dude, Daniel, I actually meant to ask you. So, is like, are you full on 395 jerky? Like you're gonna have like a tent and everything. Like that's your
yeah, for the next
your Huckleberry.
It's hard to do my own deal only because I'm just, I'm a small ham and egger, but I've got Jerry and I get along really good with Tembo Tusk, and he lets me set up in his shop, and I'll do some cooking like demos, and I'll be able to have my own little booth. So I talked to the guys over for Flagstaff, and I need to reach back out to them in January. I may have my own booth, but I love hanging out with Jerry and all those guys. They're such a blast. So I'll either be at the Tembo Test booth or I'll have my own. So we'll play by ear.
Oh, awesome. I'll be hitting you up for some free jerky samples.
All right, guys.
Yeah, free live, man. Dude, free lunch. I love it because the lines get so long for the food that you know, the one thing I heard from Colorado when that was my first expo, everybody they were telling me the same thing. You know, the lines for the food were so long that you know, being in the middle of all the you know, everybody else that was selling gear to be able to grab some jerky, it worked out great for me.
I feel like there's like a way to do expos. There's like you go, you meet the vendors, you do all that stuff, you know. But then there's like 5:30 rolls around, and what you should be doing when you get up is you should be like scoping out and like casing who's serving food when. Like
Right.
and like 5 o'clock rolls around, and you know, like, oh, the tempo test guys are gonna have tacos.
Oh
and,
yeah.
you know, and then you
If
start
I'm at the
making them
tempo
around.
test booth, man, we're cooking every 2 or 3 hours, you know, and Jerry likes cooking anything with chorizo because the smell carries more than any other meal. So swing by, you'll be assured to get some good food.
Yeah. That's how you, I think that's how you play like the expo thing. You do the circuit, get the free food.
There you go.
We lose Ed had to cut out, probably.
Yeah, Ed said he has some dad duties. He had to cut out here, so he had to bounce. And my fire, I had to get it started up here again. It was getting pretty embarrassing.
You mean you had to flick the switch from off to on again, or
No, this is
that real?
legit. This is legit here,
Wow,
Kevin.
would you look at you? What?
Greg, are you like, you mentioned Wyoming? Are you in Wyoming or are you in in California?
Yeah, no, this is at our cabin in California. I just have the Wyoming whiskey that I got at the Piggly Wiggly down here in Shaver Lake. So,
he's at his house in town, man. He's got one of those green screens behind him. Makes it look like that cabin.
Dude, Greg and I got I feel like we got Shanghai today. We went out, we're like, yeah, we'll go up, like forecasting snow. Sure enough, get up there, like huge flakes, like just as picturesque as it can be. I brought the boys up. He brought some family, and then like as soon as we kind of get like fire started going, everything else, like it just basically turned into, it stopped for a little bit, and as we were leaving, basically turned into to rain.
Yeah,
it's just like, well, this especially for basically January, you know, even last year though, I guess we really didn't get the big snowstorms until like first week of January or whatnot, but definitely a slow start to the season.
That's for sure. Yeah,
you know, it's bad when it's like you look at the forecast and you see snow. You're like, I don't care what weekend plans we had. Like, we're canceling them and we're going to go up to the Sierra.
Yeah, no
Hey
doubt.
guys, is there like one place or like one person that like you really want to get out with in 2024?
Let's see. For me, it's Will from Venture to Rome. So, all of you guys. Hey, I do need to make an Idaho trip. We got family actually in Twin Falls. So I'm gonna try to work out a little summer something to find my way up there. Daniel, we've been in touch for a long time because of Mike, our good buddy Mike there. So yeah, we got to find a way. I wanted to go. You know, Daniel does this the Warriors event. I can't remember what you call it. You call it overlanding for Warriors. Yeah, it's just amazing the people that come out to that and the group that you bring out there. I really wish I could have made it this year. It just my calendar got so messed up. So yeah, we got to find a way, obviously, to get together. I made my trip to BC last year and I didn't get to see Mike or G. I just went to Epic and got some installs. I had a conference in Vancouver and it was real boring. And then I
literally live like 5 minutes away from Epic, so I was just one phone call away, man.
I'm sorry.
Jeez, Greg. 10-hour plane ride.
Horrible. I'm gonna make it up to you, G. I'm gonna make it up to you. I promise.
And I'm like 5 hours away from Epic, so I'm a good ways away.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. I was up there,
5
and I was
hours,
like,
5 hours is doable.
I was texting G when I was up there just a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey, oh my god, I forgot to text Mike to tell him I was coming up. I need to, maybe I can hook up with him this afternoon." And he was like, "You idiot! He lives so far away."
It's all the same.
I'm closer to Idaho.
I know.
Yeah, he's actually closer to Idaho than I am to you guys.
Yeah, no doubt.
We gotta have some good luck with Ian. Ian, we were literally within an hour of you meeting up with us, and then he's like, "Nah, can't make it. Sorry, guys." And we're like, "All right, well, see you later."
Yeah, man. I guys, that was terrible. It was obviously we had been out for I think like 8 days or something. And you guys remember, it rained every
Yeah.
day. And we were not expecting rain. And we had goals, we had things we had done. And at this point we were soaking wet. And I was with a few other guys and we just put it to a vote. And they're like, I think it's time to go.
Well,
home.
and we're on day 0, right? Like we're all gung ho, like we don't care what the weather's going to be like. And then Ian is just defeated.
This is
Like,
one of
I
my
can't do
biggest
it.
regrets in my life, by the way. Yeah, we had spent like 6-8 days up in Coyote Flats. And, and I regret the fact that we didn't push on for another couple of days.
We did.
At one point, Will was putting together something for a Bishop trip. That would be a great little either Coyote Flats or Mazurka or any Kavanaugh Ridge. We should try to put something like that together again. We were close, but it didn't quite work out.
Totally agree, dude. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, that's the one that got away from me this year that I really want to do in 2024 is get down to the Bishop area. My best buddy, Chris, his wife, Elsha, is from there.
Yeah.
That's her hometown. And so there's a little bit of deeper connection for her to go.
Yeah.
He's my best buddy. What are you talking about, Will?
You're all my best buddy.
Yeah.
So, there's only one true best buddy. And so
Gary, you're his best buddy, but Chris is his bestest buddy.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. We had stickers together. We had breakfast burritos together.
You gotta come to
We have the
Bishop
same
then,
color
man.
Jeep.
You gotta
I
get
don't
on the Bishop.
know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Too many similarities.
I
But
get the
anyway,
sense from Will that Chris is like the guy that Will can call up in the middle of the night and be like, "Yeah, we got to go bury a body." Like, Chris is like, "I'm in."
Yeah.
Chris has been at a family reunion and I was working on my Jeep and I was like changing spark plugs. And so like you have to, in a Jeep, you have to like take the manifold off to do that. I was putting the manifold back on and I sheared a bolt off on accident. I over torqued it and he was in a family reunion and I called him panicked and I was like, "Oh my God, I just broke my Jeep." He was like, "It's okay. I'm on my way."
This reunion is terrible. I need to leave.
Drill out.
He was so happy to have an excuse to leave that.
Oh, yeah, you did him a favor, not the other way around.
Will needs me. I gotta go.
Sorry, I gotta.
My wife always says, so like in this neighborhood I live in, like there are Jeep owners for days, and she calls it the bat signal. You like throw your hood up, and people just like flock around the neighborhood. It doesn't matter what they were doing, like they could be going to a funeral, and they're like, "Oh no, let's snug down on this. Like let's figure out what's making that noise."
I'll show you guys this. This is your best friend right here.
Oh, there it is.
Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
over
Nice.
campfire. You
You should have showed that to Ed Shin when he was on. He made us. He made us some on the Carson River when it was like 6 degrees.
Nice.
epic.
If it's handwritten, that's the real shit.
Ed
Oh,
is bulgogi. Ed is bulgogi. He's just like Korean beef.
100%, man. Straight money.
But Bishop for me, guys, like I want to get down there in 2024, and I love as many people as possible. It'd be so fun to see you guys.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so I'm gonna make a statement here that the single greatest upload on any overlanding channel this year, okay? The gentleman is on the screen right now with a little fire pit in front of him. But Caleb Baker Overland, his video, and the fact that I still know the name of the video just tells you that it was the best. It was called Facing
the Fear.
It was unbelievable. Caleb Baker, I'm giving you the accolades here. I'm gonna do this.
Here.
All the little things fall down.
Maybe next year. Next year we need to do like an award ceremony.
Yeah.
We totally
Like the biggest bomb, the 10 out of 10.
That's gonna be all my videos.
Now, Gary, I'm gonna compete
All
with you on
my
that one.
videos.
I got Gary and I are gonna go fisticuffs over biggest bomb.
I agree with you, Greg. Caleb's video was the best thing. Was the best edit this year. Easily.
See, I gotta be honest. I
100%.
disagree with you, but I disagree with you that I think the best video is still from the same guy. His Being a Dad video, which I don't think he made last year, but that affected me, like as far as storytelling goes, like something that I connect with so much. That it's just incredible. And I like sat there and watched that, and like you start to think, you're like, man, like what else, what could I be doing to be a better dad? I think the storytelling is just out of this world.
Yeah.
I saw that video and I
watched
called
the
absolutely.
the Ozarks stuff that he put out. That's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Guys, that means a tremendous amount to me, and I really appreciate it. I all of you guys are idols to me. Like, I watch all your channels, I watch everything you release, and it's super inspirational to me. So the fact that something I made
Yeah.
resonated, I appreciate it.
Caleb, can you do me one favor? Can you
Yeah,
hold the bottle and make the speech? So it makes it
What?
we gave you like an award or something.
Gave
Hold
you
the
the
bottle,
Yes.
hold your
Okay.
bottle and then
It's called a little
just
peepee. It's called a
you
little
know make you
Right
speak.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my cigar fluid refill. Guys, I just want to thank you for this beautiful award. Let's me. I'm gonna place it atop my mantle in my living room. No, I really appreciate it, guys. It means a lot. Like,
We need to have an annual award for this
Yes.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think
And
we
Caleb
just
is the
gave it-
winner this year.
for sure.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna consult a couple people. You are gonna be receiving the greatest Overland content video award of 2023. Caleb, you're the first annual.
The
Okay,
inaugural.
and it will come with some sort of plaque that may or may not look like a YouTube play button style, just so you can but we will do this, and we're gonna need a committee next year. I think we made a unanimous decision right here on this call. Caleb, you are the winner, the recipient of that. So you will be receiving something. I'll take care of that.
By the way,
You know what's funny about that, Trail Newbie, is you said that, and there's not a single one of us who would dare disagree with it.
Yeah,
It's like you know how good that video was.
let me
Because
add
not a
to it.
single person would
Hold
question.
on, Ian's trying to say
That
something.
that video was freaking amazing, and I loved it. But you have to add categories, because Will's BDR video changed my thinking about YouTube on some level, and caused me to put some longer stuff out. You know what I mean? And I would say, as I look
Absolutely, that's a good point.
everybody here probably rethought what they were doing when they saw that video, and were just like, oh shit, all these 10-minute videos I'm making could be put together into one awesome story. And so there's different categories. There's like, most original content absolutely goes to Baker, no question about it. Most influential, Will, I think you influenced
for this group. I think, Will, one thing you've done for this whole group here is you've actually brought us together, right, in the Slack group, and just conversation and keeping people communicating with each other, man. That's been huge, because the people that you've added into the group that have come in and just spent time together and talking with one another, sharing ideas, man, it's been huge. It's funny because, like, so many of us in many other industries or ways, like, we'd all be like mortal enemies, like, oh no, 395 junkie, I'm not watching Daniel's stuff, but it's like the opposite is so true of what we do.
And for context real quick, because I kind of realize that, like, we're a bunch of vagabonds in this group and people don't probably know what the connection is. So for most of us, we're in this Slack chat, which long story short, it's basically like us sharing information or sharing a lot of things. We'll share, like, hey, this is the thumbnail I'm thinking about for this video, and then Will thankfully is like, no, that sucks, don't do that. I'm like, thank you, okay, cool, we'll fix that. Or like something in editing or in like collaborations, or basically like kind of a way to share lessons learned, so we all don't have to learn them ourselves. And so most of us are in this group. Daniel, we need to invite you in there, because you're not that you really need it, to be honest, but for the rest of us, good way to just kind of like knowledge share.
No, man,
and so
I was about to suggest, and this is kind of an offline topic. I would love nothing more than to have this on a monthly basis with just us. Nothing that needs to be live streamed. There's a bunch of boring talk about editing software and shots, and you guys. There's a lot of information that we all have that, to an earlier point, by sharing it, rising tides raises all boats, and there's a lot to be said there. The more that we can share with whatever it is that we learn from a video from the past, and just going forward, is tremendously helpful. So I'm all in on a once a month kind of deal where we can talk about what we've been doing.
We
Yeah.
actually do it like weekly on Wednesdays, but half of us
Really?
can't make it.
Weekly might be a bit much, but the whole monthly deal. But plus it gives us a
Maybe
chance
maybe
for-
not in the middle of a work day would be great.
Yeah.
It gives us a
And
chance
not
to
not
reflect
not
on everybody
lunchtime where
else's
we have
video.
all different time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out. We're still working out the kinks, you know.
Hey,
Yeah.
and real quick, I just want to say I want to make it real clear, and I appreciate all you guys, and the group has been super helpful and inspirational to me. But Will has been a huge help to me, and I wouldn't even be in this group if it wasn't for Will. And I appreciate all of your feedback and your criticism, but I just want to take a quick second to say Will is the reason that I'm even here. And the reason that I've seen the growth that I've seen. So I just wanted to make that clear. I really appreciate you, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That is
That goes ditto
Jake
for me.
Overland's
though.
version
Yeah.
of "I love you, man."
I love you.
Did we just become best friends?
Will.
Yes.
But like,
a
love
little,
you.
a little side note though, like with me and Will, we became friends on Instagram.
Right.
And then Will started sending me, hey, what do you think of this video? And then, typically you just be like friendly, whatever. I was just like, you want me to seriously tell you what? And then it was just a whole bunch of lists. And then I think part of that is also him sharing it to other YouTube channels. And then that's kind of like how the Slack started.
That was
which
the
is like-
beginning.
yeah,
Gary,
like 5.
Gary ripped me to shreds. He ripped me to shreds.
Oh my
Yeah, and I was like, oh my
It's
God,
just a
this is
game,
so
Fokker.
All right.
Yeah. So hey, you guys, like,
All right.
thank you, thank you. Like, but I mean, come on, like the reason that I reached out to anybody is because like I'm like I see something, like I watch a video and I'm like, oh my God, who is that person? I need to meet them. Like they're making really good stuff. Maybe I can learn from them. So like this is awesome because we've become friends, and like I honestly love people in this group and I love hanging out and doing this. But like it all stems from the fact that like I have like so much respect and like envy for everybody, everybody in this group. So like, not to get too mushy, but like, thanks for saying that, guys. But like, honestly, it's really self-serving. It's very, on my part, it's very self-serving. And by the way, Daniel, I just made sure that you've got the link, man. Like we definitely need to hang out more.
I appreciate it, man. Maybe
Are
we'll
you guys
be
watching Ian
here.
hack something with his hatchet right now? I can't take my eyes off that. Sorry.
Earlier, I was gonna comment because Ian was getting smoked out earlier. I'm just like, and Ed was talking.
Okay.
I was like, I couldn't he was just getting smoked out. He's doing this the whole time, and I'm like, I'm trying to ignore his screen, but he's just doing this the whole time, trying to get the smoke away from him.
I was gonna say this earlier. Like Ian, so I take my kids out overlanding, not as much as Ian does, but we go out as a family, take my kids out, and my kids are 8 and 10, and like they go out, they help set up camp, they help cook, they like throw rocks in the creek, we go on nature walks and all that stuff. Ian's kids are like catching dinner in the creek and like
Shooting bow and arrows.
You gotta eat.
building nets and tourniquets and like he is on a different level when it comes to like teaching his kids about the outdoors. It's so
And like you guys with kids know, like going out with kids just by itself can be a challenge. Going out with kids and filming it and producing something that people want to watch it's I'm gonna be honest, it's hell on earth. I love my boys, but holy crap. Even today, I was like flying the drone and they're just like running, chasing it. I was like, no, you gotta act natural. Like they don't care,
I
Don't look at the drone.
Yeah, you have to act like it's not there. And they're like, Dad, look. I was like, I know, I'm flying it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just real quick. You can kind of see my wife's hair on the left of the screen.
Where's Mama Goose?
She keeps
Where is
I saw her, yeah.
Who's that?
Hey!
Hi, Tish.
What's going on?
I saw her. I saw her wandering around in the
better
background
half.
earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, she's gonna be pissed if she doesn't know we're live.
She's got priorities. She's got her priorities right.
Yeah. Well, we might need a camping spot or two on our way out of here because we'll be going back home on Wednesday of next week. And the Boise area might be a great spot to stop at for a night.
Yes, my number one is the Shoshone Falls.
If you got something by Shoshone Falls, let us know.
I do. Or you guys can also just stay here. Like I think everybody in this group is either stayed at my house or will stay at my house at some point. Like,
I'd
Where
stick
are
at your
you
house.
at?
yeah,
You're in Boise?
from Boise. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right off the, like, close, like 10 minutes off the interstate. So, like, just, you guys are welcome to stay. Of
Very cool. Thanks for that. I appreciate it.
course.
Love it.
All right. Any closing thoughts? My wife wants a living room back, so I need to.
Yeah, I'm missing dinner.
I was chowing down on my dinner while we were talking.
Whatever. I'm on the East
Hey
Coast,
guys,
man.
real quick,
Past my
real
bedtime.
quick.
Oh, wait, Mike has something.
Just want to say Happy New Year's, guys, and
sir.
so thankful for this group and so appreciative of all of you. And I hope you guys have a great 2024.
Likewise,
Yeah,
Mike.
same to you guys.
To everybody else.
Same thing. Yeah.
All right,
Greg,
gents.
it's
Everyone
sorry,
that
Greg.
tuned in on the live stream, sorry for all the technological issues, but thanks for sticking with us. Other than that, gents, here's cheers to 2024.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Looking forward to seeing you guys out here.
All right, gents. Have a good one.
All right.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Kevin.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
All right.
Wiping the whiskey. I spilled whiskey on my computer when I freaking that little cheers move really messed me up.
What happened, Ian?
I think I'm still live streaming, by the way.
It's like the